One of the big reasons I like my Xbox One X is backwards compatibility. Duh. I love old games. Even if they're just like 5 years old, they don't have to be retro in order to be interesting. Like Modern Warfare 3, I think is one of the most fun Call of Duties to play. This bad boy was ahead of its time. But my problem is that these games don't really have any proper support. They don't get patches anymore, they don't get updates, they don't get optimized. Very few of them even get enhanced for my $500 lunchbox over here. The thing is some games that I own do get Xbox One X enhanced. Like for instance, the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 or Skate 3, those are Xbox One X enhanced. Oh, so is Sonic Generations. Games some people might deem irrelevant that I find to be very fun games. And they're 4K, 4K, and 4K. They're very sharp. They look like they did not come out 4 or 5 years ago. They look like they came out yesterday because of how sharp and crisp they look. I'm recording. What's up? Can you hang out in your room for just a second? Thanks. You're fine. Bye. Looking at my 2DS XL here, you can see that Nintendo also values old games with the Virtual Console. See, they want me to spend money on games that came out in the early 2000s, late 90s. I'm totally willing to do so, because old games aren't any worse, especially if you grew up with them, have fond memories of them, or they were just really beautifully designed. Now, it's fair to say that Modern Warfare 3 isn't a system seller anymore, and it's fair to say that it's not bringing in the revenue it used to. But a little bit of developer time would make these old games so much more playable. See, first of all, since I play on Xbox One X, I would love to see way more work going into the 360 emulator on the Xbox One X. You see, I can play Battlefront 2 in 4K, I can play Skate 3 in 4K, and Sonic Generations in 4K, but none of the rest— oh, and Red Dead Redemption. Sorry, almost forgot one of the big boys. And Red Dead Redemption are all in 4K, and they look brilliant and sharp. They don't look like they've aged a day because of that resolution bump. It is massive, you have to see it to believe it. But when it comes down to it, these aren't making those companies money, so they don't put a lot of money into them, I understand that. But at the same time, I do not think it'd be the worst thing in the world to implement some anti-cheat. The reason I'm not grinding Modern Warfare 3 is because I am in fucking terror that I'm going to hop into a modded lobby and get all of my stats reset, or hop into a modded lobby and get all my stats boosted to the max without me actually earning it. Same goes for Black Ops 2, same goes for Black Ops 1, same goes for World at War, same goes for Call of Duty 4. I would love to play these games, I would love to enjoy those games, just because they're a little graphically dated and they have older engines and they run a little bit clunkier, doesn't mean I wouldn't enjoy playing them. I think that more time needs to be spent on these older games, updating them, enhancing them for people that spent $500 on Xbox One X. This kind of stuff doesn't need to be top priority, but it needs to be some sort of priority. Old games don't stop existing, but they do stop getting played if they're unplayable. I don't want to go play Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer right now because I'm worried about my stats, same with all the other Call of Duty games. And Battlefield 3 needs a desperate update, and you can do that emulator side, Xbox. I don't know why you haven't done that yet. I know for a fact that Gears of War 2 was bumped up to 4K, and the Gears team said we didn't do that. That was all the backwards compatibility team. So, old games are older, they're not pulling in money, and they're not a priority. But at the very least, can you give us some decent cheater reporting? Because it's really frustrating that old games are just ruled by fucking hackers and modders. It's horrible. Because there's some really solid titles out there, like Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3. They both have their problems, but I love playing them, and I can't. I can, but I'm constantly risking losing everything or gaining everything through fucking mods. I would love to hear what you guys think about this in the comment section, because I, for one, love playing old games, and it's a big reason I enjoy the Xbox platform is because of backwards compatibility. I don't have a ton of backwards compatible games installed, but I definitely have a ton available. If I go to my 360 and Xbox games, I have 64, not including my discs that I have lying around. Look at all of this. And so many of these could use updates and enhancements. So many of these could use balancing patches still. So many of these could use some nice anti-cheat, or at least turn the servers back on. I can't play Medal of Honor Vanguard online anymore. It will not connect to EA. I hate to see support die for old games, especially old games that have communities and fans, or at least people that just want to pop back into them. And I do think you'd end up making more money on games like Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 if somebody going to, oh, I'm going to pick up a game, I could pick up Black Ops 2, but it's full of hackers, not going to do that. Or maybe you own Black Ops 2, but it's like, I never bought the DLCs, but why would I? The multiplayer's full of hackers. I think I'm making a solid point, and I think you guys understand what I'm saying, so I'll stop reiterating it. Old games have value. They don't take away anything from new games. New games are ultimately, like, technology-wise, a lot better, a lot bigger, a lot prettier, a lot smoother, and there are some real gems coming out right now. Good games didn't stop being made, right when 2010 started, so don't let anyone tell you that. But for the people that want to enjoy older games because they think they're better, or because they spent money on them and still find them to have value, like, if I look down here, and I see stuff like Halo 3, which is also Xbox One X enhanced, and I also see Call of Duty World at War, I find value in these games. My girlfriend gave me this because she had it lying around when I first met her, and she's like, you can have this, because it was the only one missing from my collection. And then Halo 3, I bought for $5 with my sister when we were younger and had an old 360 arcade lying around, and we played it, and maybe I want to boot this bitch up. I'm going to have the Master Chief Collection. I'm just using it as an example. So maybe they don't want to put money or any time into these older games, making sure they have less cheaters, prettier graphics, or better performance or updates. Maybe it's because it costs money. Maybe it's because it takes away from new games. Maybe because they're evil. I don't know. But I wanted to air that out because old games have value. They have value to me, and I'm sure it has value to you. And if you don't think it's a priority and you think this is a stupid video, then that's fine. Go ahead and leave a dislike and tell me I'm stupid. But I think a lot of you will see where I'm coming from. And I'm not just saying, hey, make the old games great again. I'm just saying like a patch or two. A patch or two, or at least like have like competent hacker reporting for like games like Modern Warfare 3. At least do that. So that's how I'm going to end the video. So sorry if this was a little bit rambly. I just it's a heart thing. It's a feelings thing. Because I was wanting to play some Modern Warfare 3. And then I realized I could get my stats reset at any second. Not fun. And I'd love to play Battlefield 3. I own it on PC, but I'd love to play it on console with my console buddies, but we just can't get past the fact that it runs and looks like shit. A simple patch would fix that. You could unlock the frame rate and turn up the resolution on the emulator. I've seen them do it in other games. So I don't know. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and if I've misspoken here and I said something wrong and not something non-factual, let me know, correct me, and I will give you a fair enough reply. I like replying with those two words. Fair enough. Something so nonchalant about it. Where's my mouse?